Good morning, everybody. This is Tish, just doing what you do with Miss Tish, Subdivision Gardening. I am out in my garden today. Today is, what's today? Tuesday. It is Tuesday in June, and I am out doing a little bit later now because I just decided to put the camera on. But let me move this camera a little bit. So what I'm doing this morning is I sprayed again with some BT because I haven't seen any more hornworms. I saw a little baby one when I first saw it. I got that off and been spraying. This is what day is this? The fourth day. I think this is the third spray I did though. I don't know if I can use the other, the other spray because I'm trying to find a concentrated one because them spray bottles for all these tomato plants, they only last for 2 days. And that's too much money. 7 days every 2 days? No. So what I did, I went through, clip my tomato. If I see anything that look like spots on it, I don't know if you can see it. You have spots on it. Or if I see some look burnt or just doesn't look healthy, I clip them off. I'm keeping the suckers on. I'm not pruning any suckers off. Make sure I keep it clean from the bottom up. You don't want to have no leaves touching the soil or with a wet spot, so it can end up getting disease and cause the whole plant to get disease. And remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just a gardener, and I have been doing this for a while, so I just learn from experience. And that's the best policy, I believe, is learning from experience. You're going to have good seasons, and you're not going to have so good seasons. And you learn from experience. You learn from experience. Sorry about that. Learning from experience. So, what I'm doing now is I am fertilizing my plants. It's time to fertilize. I am doing a combination of, I like to use my mason jars. Instead of me taking each one out of the bags, I put them in my mason jar and mix it up. So this, I know that I didn't need to use as much of the tomato tone and all those what is it, blood meal, because I'm fruiting now. My plants are fruiting. I don't need a lot of leaf growth, so I'm using bone. Is it bone or blood? Hold on a minute before I mess up and telling you the wrong thing. Here you go, right here. Make sure I got the right, what I'm telling you right. Bone meal. That is phosphate. That's what you want to have fruit growth. Hope I don't trip up nothing else. Phosphate. Bone meal. I'm using bone meal. I put some Epsom salt mix in here. Bone meal, some worm casting. And I think that's it. Mixed in with this jar. And I mix it together and I'm sprinkling around here. And the other jar has all the other ones in it. But for my tomatoes, that's what I want to put in here. And also I'm putting in some compost on top. And I also have some 511 with some organic expert fruit and tomato liquid fertilizer. So I put it's a fizz. I never use it. Fizz fertilizer for each gallon. So I stuck it in there with some 511 and I'm pouring it on top. Then I use my black cow compost, put on top, and then I'm gonna put some straw on top of that. Now I use this day to do this because yesterday, and I guess last night, I don't think too much late last night, but we had a lot of rain came through. Oh, I already did that. So that's done. Fertilizing now. So a lot of rain came through. So the soil is very moist and wet, so I don't have to water anything today. Anything. I'm going to check and make sure, but everything is very, is saturated in water. So I'll probably get some of my herbs because sometimes it don't get as much as underneath that tree. But so far in these buckets, everything seem a lot of moisture in it. So I won't water it I might come back out this evening and check, or I might just wait until tomorrow morning. So I do have 2 bags of compost, cow manure, that I had left over from when I was planting, which I'm glad. So I can put this in, and that's why I'll be top dressing my veggies with straw and compost for now on, other than the food that I'll be feeding it. And so that's what I'm doing now. But make sure, I had met some people as I was out and about traveling a little bit, picking up food for lunch and stuff. And I met some people that garden just like me. And one lady, 2 people, one of them had a question about, she had set her tomatoes out, but her tomato wasn't growing. Nothing was growing on it. And I asked her how long ago have she set it out. And she said about 2 months, and they still look small. It's not, they're green and everything. I said, maybe you need, so maybe check the roots. Because sometimes, but then I thought about it, I said, if the root is damaged, the plant will end eventually dying out. And if it's not growing, it's not got enough nutrients in the soil. So I was telling her, did you revitalize your soil before you put your tomatoes in the ground, in your area where you plant it? She said, no, I just threw them in there. And that was the problem. They sitting there because they do not have any food. They need food to thrive. They need their vitamins. Just like we need food, we need water, we need vitamins. Sometimes, based on what type of food you eat, because you get vitamins out of your food. But when we don't eat the right type of food, we need supplements. And a lot of times with our soil, if the plants can't get the right type of food or nutrients from the soil, which is their food, guess what? They need supplements. And supplements are the things that we put in to help it grow, like our vitamins. And that is our plants. Nutrients is the vitamins, is their vitamins, is the supplements we put in it, like the bone meal, the blood meal, the organic fertilizers, the compost, those things, organic matter, like food scraps, and we start putting that inside of our containers, like these right here. I'm gonna try to pull this up. Well, I can show you these right here. I've been doing this for a while since I've been seeing. I saw another video on a lady that's all she does. She don't add hardly, I don't believe she add anything to her soil other than her scraps and stuff. She always do a double bucket. She put this in her containers, and she had a larger container than me some. But I learned a year ago or 2 years ago to put this inside, right beside any plant I'm doing, and put this on top. I put soil in this one, and I put maybe some herbs or something to grow a flower, anything like that on top. And in this one, I will put my food scraps, put that on top so the bugs and the flies and all that stuff won't come to it, or the animals wouldn't smell it to come to it. And I will bury this pot in the ground. Stick this food scraps in this one, bury this one in the ground, put food scraps in that, put this top on top of it, put soil in here, and plant wherever you want. Now the plant that's on top will get the nutrients as well as what's in the ground, because the worms will come, it'll eat up the scraps, the bugs, whatever in there will eat up the scraps and cause it to get nutrients and compost, and the poop from it will help the plant to be growing as well. And so I do that with each one of my plants, and using my tomato plants. I'm a little behind on it, but I save kitchen scraps, and I haven't put none in it. I just set the cups beside it because some of them I have not put in there, and some of them I have. I have my Bible. My alarm's going off telling me what I'm supposed to be doing. So let me cut that real quick. Something sticking me in my leg. Okay, so I do that to help with the nutrients as well. I try to stay on a feeding schedule. That's also important to stay on one. Um, every 7 to 14 days, they are required. They tell you it's good to fertilize your plants, especially during the time when they start budding, flowering, fruiting. That's when you start upgrading your um, fertilization, your feeding for your plants. 7 to 14 days. I try to do mine between 7 to 8 or 9 days. I don't go 2 weeks, especially when they start fruiting because they need more. Especially watermelons, all this stuff, they're heavy feeders. Tomatoes are heavy feeders. Peppers are heavy feeders. A lot of plants during the season is heavy feeders, and they like their food. And when you deprive them of their food, they get start trying to use what they have up, whatever's stored up. And when that's gone, they depleted everything. So we have to make sure we keep their food supply um, plentiful and available for them. And that's why at the beginning of the season, it's so good to put slow release. So all the granules and stuff you put in there, like the tomato tone and that granule, that is a slow release. Over time, it goes for 3 months, and just slow release in the soil. But I always put a little bit more during the middle. So that means every 2 weeks, I'll feed it with a liquid sellable. Every 7 to 8 days, I do it with this liquid fertilizing. Every 2 weeks, I come back out and maybe do it with some granules based on I see how the plant is, what it might need, because it always depends on what it needs. If you have a problem with the not enough leaf growth, if it's a new plant and it's not fruiting, if it's leafy, not enough leaf growth, not fruiting, that means you might need some more nitrogen. If you have abundance of leaves growing and everything is green and no fruit and the leaves will just keep growing, then cut back on the nitrogen and add more phosphate. That's the middle number. The N at the beginning, the first number on your fertilized bag, you have a first, second, third, NPK. So the first one is for healthy leaf growth. Okay. The second number is for fruiting and flowering. So when you flower, your fruit, that is helpful for that. The second number. The third number is for that toad is just going. The third number is for the roots, having healthy roots. So when your flowers start to bud or your plants start to bud and fruit, we lean back off of the first number, the nitrogen, upgrade the phosphorus and I think the K, I can't remember what that was, but the last for the root. So the next two, you up that, especially the middle number. Make sure those are higher. I believe you don't need to buy the one, anything that say, oh, it's for flowers, oh, it's for this, oh, it's for that. Look for the numbers. Look for the numbers. So if the numbers is higher in this and the only thing you have is let's see, what I had, some azalea or something deal with flowers and fruits or something. And it was the middle number was the highest. And I didn't have any other fertilizer. And I said, well, I need that for fruiting. I put that in there. And that helped because I'm looking for my NPKs. I'm looking for what I need for my plant. So remember, the first one is for the leaf. Second number is for your fruiting, budding of flowers. Third one is for the roots. So you want to make sure you have a balance of all. You don't want to overleaf when you need fruiting now. You don't want to keep having leaf when you need fruit. So during this season, everything out here what I have is in the fruit stage. So I'm backing off on my nitrogen. I probably just use 511 because 511 got 5 nitrogen. Everything else is 1. That's all I would use for that. Everything else will be up in the phosphate, the middle number and the third number, to make sure my roots are continually growing healthy so my plant can be stable, because you have to have a good root system in order for your plants to be stable in growth. If your roots are not growing properly and they're not strong, your plant going to die. It's going to fall over. It don't have any stability. Don't have nothing to hold it. That's remind me of our foundation with our Father. We have to have a firm foundation. Our foundation is the roots. Where's our roots are connected to? What is this growing from? It's growing from His Word. And as the roots grow, the body grow. The body fruits, leaf, just like a plant, it leaves out, it fruits out, and it produces what is needed for us. So we have to grow ourselves from the inside out, just like our plant grows from the roots up inside and out with the fruit. So our fruit is the fruit of what we see, the fruit of His word, the fruit of what His fruit through us is what you see that happens from His word, from Him, what we get from Him. So He wants to see His fruit. He wants to see His fruit multiply, produce, want to see His fruit thrive. Just like I had problems with my peaches, right? And I saw little dots, and I knew probably gonna get worms full of peaches in the peach tree. And sure enough, I have worms, and they call these worms that form moths. And it was growing all in my peaches. So when I cut each one, I had abundance of them, maybe 10 peaches. I cut them, and all of them had worms. And another year with that, I sprayed at the beginning, then sprayed again. So next year, this year I am building my root system and knowledge of learning that. So that means I have to learn what I have to do to not allow it to happen again. So I have to research, find out that when it starts, all the leaves out, cut it back. Then I have to know what to do. Spray it during the off season, spray it on the end season. When the season come in, spread it when the flowers fall off, to make sure I protect what is about to come. Protect what is about to come. And maybe next year I'll have a better harvest of peaches as well as my grapes. Learning about those fruits is one thing that I want to do better in, prosper in. And by me learning about it, I believe I'll have a better knowledge of it and will do better on the next season. Same thing about your plants, the same thing about us. We know better, we do better. So I just wanted to share with you what I was doing today with the plants, tomatoes, and everything else. So I'm going to finish fertilizing everything, putting this in, watering it with the water soluble, and put my top dress with my cow mulch and straw. And that's what we're going to do for my tomato plants today. Everything else is going to get fertilized, and nothing really don't need to get watered because everything is watered. I might come out this evening and check and see if it still have enough water in it, and just water tomorrow. And I think it probably will last good all day, and I just have to water tomorrow. So that's what's going to be happening out here. Thank you for tuning in. This is Tish, just doing what you do with Miss Tish, Subdivision Gardening. I don't know if you want to see how I do this. So I already pruned everything back and clipped it back. So maybe I will work on this pot right here so my camera can stay out the sun, and I can show you how I do it before I go off. All right, stay tuned. All right, so this is what I do. I try to have enough space in between my plants when I put them together. So I already pruned it, and now I'm going to some of this, move the straw. This is a little tedious task I do, so give yourself time to be able to do this. And it takes a little minute to get these things done. And make sure focus on one at a time. Don't try to do everything if you don't have that much time out in the garden, or pace yourself, you know. So I put this over here just a little bit. So what I did, I put a trench around the tomato. Give it like a little, this is an open part where the tomato at, and I put a trench around it. First thing I'm going to do is to get a, what's this, a third cup. I think I got a third cup. I just got one of a measuring cup. Put some of this around here. And remember, I mixed this with bone meal, worm casting, and what did I get? Bone meal, worm casting. I think that was it. I don't think I put anything else because I wanted to hide. I thought it was something else I put in there. I can't remember. Oh, and Epsom salt. because plants like Epsom salt. So I put that in there. Now I'm going to cover that back up. So bone meal, worm casting, and Epsom salt. That's what I put around there. So I'll cover that back up. Put all this back on. Oh, well, I don't have to put the straw. Let's take some of that straw, because I'm going to use that for a top coat. Okay, so I just put the soil on it. Now I'm going to fertilize it with my liquid fertilizer. Okay, move that over here. And I always do not like, when the sun comes out, do not water your leaves. You don't want them to get burned. Now I'm going to top dress it with some compost. And then after that, I'm going to put some straw on top. And also this will end up, as the soil depletes during the season, and it helps with the nutrients in the soil as well. So that's grass. I got an onion in here. Also got a cup. I will probably do a marigolds in here soon. So now, oh, this is my cup. So while I'm here, let me go ahead and dig this hole and put this in here. So I can do two things at once. There you go. So I put that down in there. So that's already in the ground. I have two. Make sure the bottom one's down there. And I could put some soil in the top, some compost on top. And everything is good. So now I'll put some more of this straw, and I will get some more straw to put on top to help protect it, and also help with moisture. It'll keep the moisture in when you water, so it won't dry out so fast, because when you have soil exposed, it seems like it dries up faster. So that's it. That's what I'm doing to each one of my plants. And if I have the time, and I'm pulling out the grass, I will put these cups in it as I go as well. So that's what I'm doing with each one of our plants. I see right here, this one needs to be clipped off. Sometimes I'll just take my hand. If it can bend off, I'll pluck it off. This is a new one. It's not as old, and it's got burnt and stuff on it. I don't like that. So this is it. This is what I'm be doing each one. I have approximately 5 more to do here. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. About 20 more plants to do over here. Let me move this up so I can talk to you a little more. Hope I didn't loosen it. Hold on a second. There you go. So that is what I'll be doing over here. Fertilizing my plants. Getting it ready for the next leg of its journey. So this is Tish. This is Tish is doing what this is Tish, Miss Tish, that's doing what you do, subdivision gardening. Out here fertilizing my plants. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day, and remember, always do what you do, but also do what God has called you to do. Be blessed.